Welcome back, everyone, to the Doc of Detox show. And I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and this is DocStar TV, and this is the New World Health live Q&A. And I'm only going to be on for 40 minutes today because at 2 o'clock Central Time today, I've got Alya coming on, and she's the scientist that is behind the Tesla eyewear and also the Biotron full spectrum healing light that's been out for 27 years and nobody's been able to duplicate it yet. So we're going to be talking about energy medicine, on how it heals and it protects us against the invisible. And understand something, if you think we're not being attacked by the invisible today, well then you've got another thought coming. 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, blue light, okay? And all of the false evidence appearing real called fear, where everybody is losing their you-know-what because they actually believe the end of the world's coming. And actually, it's a new world that's coming. And the reality is, as long as the majority of the population are in fear, that world's not going to be someplace that you might want to live. But the reality is, if we could just even get 5 to 10% of the population buying into what? Unconditional self-love, standing in one's power. Wouldn't that be something? What if we could do that? Well, we couldn't do that because I don't even like myself. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. I don't like the way I think. Well, I get it. That's only the majority of the population, and it's going to continue forever. It's always been that way. I mean, how many people truly love themselves? I mean, truly love themselves, that will put themselves first and foremost before their children, before their husband, before their wife, before their church, before the government, before anybody else. And understand, on this planet, if you don't come first before everybody else, then how are you going to teach your children how to love, honor, and respect themselves, protect themselves? No, they'll probably be like you or me, like I was. And that is that I need approval from everyone. And I take things personal. Well, the reality is I'm not going to take anything personal anymore, because the reality is that I've got to understand that if I'm going to be my authentic self, then guess what? Then I'm not even part of the herd. I'm part of maybe 1 out of 10,000 people that actually unconditionally, totally love themselves and understand something. And then you can tell me that the herd knows what they're doing. Well, actually they don't. The herd thinks there's justice in the world. The herd thinks that there's going to be justice against people like little Billy Gates or Justin Trudeau or Klaus, whatever his name is. I know what his name is. Anyways, there's not ever going to be justice. The only justice is when you love, honor, protect, and respect yourself. Why don't you challenge me on that? Go ahead, challenge me on that. Why don't you? Tell me that you are getting what you need from all of these systems. Tell me that, you know what, that you would follow your family. You wouldn't follow them, you're falling with them. You wouldn't follow them, you're falling with your family. Families are falling down, they're being torn apart, they don't even realize it. They don't even realize that they've been programmed to actually go and attack themselves and each other. You can't give what you're not, you can only give what you are. And I'll tell you something, the love that most people have for themselves, thank you, but don't share it with me, okay? Because I don't need to beg, borrow, or feel like I'm stealing it, or be held for ransom. Like almost every relationship I've ever been in my life, I've been held for ransom. You know what? I don't think you love me as much as I love you. Well, there you go. I guess you're right, because I love myself more. There you go. And I'm going to do that. And you know what? My partner, Lori, when we first got together, and this is all about health, guys. It really is. When we got together, Lori said to me, you know what? I love you. I want to move in together. I said, no, that would be dangerous for you. Okay? And she goes, what do you mean? I said, well, because if you don't love you more and you love me more, guess what? Then we're just going to get into this husband-wife or man and woman relationship, which is pretty low vibrational on my scale. I need you to unconditionally love yourself, respect yourself, and protect yourself from me. Why? I think you're beautiful. No, I'm not. Okay, because from 0 to 7, I was programmed with anything anybody wanted to do to me, sexually, physically, emotionally, and I took it in like a sponge because you're in a hypnotic trance, and I'm still working on it, even though like and we got together, let me see, so that would have been almost 10 years ago. So anyways, and I said, you know, I'm still working on it, and I'll be working on it for the rest of my life. And because it's all about slavery, like, you didn't notice that? You actually think we're not slaves? Really? Is that what you think? Well, we will be slaves until we learn to be living it with the invisible more than the physical. Otherwise, don't be so materialistic. Otherwise, don't be hanging on to things and trying to control things, okay? Accept your emotions. If you were able to control your emotions, you could control your whole life. But then you'd have to understand the brain, and you'd have to understand that your thoughts that you actually have aren't yours. On a minimum, 70% of the thoughts that a person has were given to them from 0 to 7, okay? And that's because you were in a hypnotic state. And I keep on trying to drive this in this week because people don't get it. Okay, you actually think you're fun to be with? Seriously? Okay, the only time we have fun is what? When we toke, okay, we smoke, we overeat, eat the wrong foods, okay, or we drink too much. Seriously? We don't need to do any of that when we fall in love with ourselves. And you know, it's called being grateful for everything that you have, but demanding more. Oh, I'll never stop demanding more, because I am more. And if I am more, I can have more. And guess what? Everything is unlimited down here. You're only limited by your beliefs. Oh no, they're not your beliefs. You're limited by government beliefs. Oh, wait a minute, by religious beliefs. Oh, wait, by family beliefs. Oh, by friends' beliefs. Oh, no. By the media's. Oh, no. By the medical system's beliefs. Oh my God, where does it end? Where does it begin? I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it. You'll never catch me in a hospital, emergency, anywhere, unless I'm in an emergency. I had to have been in a car accident or had to have a sports injury. But the reality is when people unconditionally love themselves, you don't see them in the hospital very much, okay? You see people in the hospital that are running hate programs on an unconscious, subconscious level. That's what you see in the hospital. And guess what? That's never going to change. Oh yeah, like the world's gotten better. Seriously? Go back 100 years ago. And people never had autoimmune diseases. They had infections, but not autoimmune diseases. And they had infections 100 years ago because the plumbing wasn't right yet. Okay, now you can date back to almost every pandemic, epidemic, and it was a sewage problem. So understand, the medical people did not save the world. The doctor did not save the world. The plumber saved the world back in the 1800s, 1700s, when they first started putting the sewage under the ground instead of in front of their door. But now, guess what? The plumbing inside your body is now causing the pandemic, the epidemics, okay? Because guess what? You know what? You're only as strong as the issues in your tissues. You're only as healthy as the tissue is in your body. And remember, terrain is everything. The terrain in your body will decide what bug lives there, whether it's a good bug or bad bug, and the good bug will go bad when you've got bad beliefs and you've got bad habits. And understand something, that would be like everybody you know, almost everybody you know. For me, all I can tell you is I'm awake, and I understand the program, and I understand that suffering is the way. I understand that we suffer, we make our families suffer, and whoever suffers the most loves the most. And you know what? That's just, yeah. I'm not buying it anymore, so understand. So the very few people that will buy into my BS belief systems, just know this. I just want to focus on you. I'm not out to sell my products to the world. I'm not out to sell my beliefs to the world, because the world doesn't want my beliefs. The majority of the population, the majority of the people that work for me don't want my beliefs. They just enjoy working for me because I guess I'm a character, and I also give them a paycheck. But the reality is that even the people that I can come into my office, and not to the people that are doing like perfect day consults, but people that are working in video or graphic or things of that nature, and they'll be the worst poisonous cookies and drinks. And as long as it's not going to be out in the face of everyone else, I'm not going to tell them how to live, because they're not going to listen to me anyways, because they don't buy into this. But it's not their fault, right? Because their friends don't eat right, their family doesn't eat right, but everybody eats right. Oh, and everybody has good bowel movements, and everybody has really great relationships going on with themselves and everyone else too. So I'm only here for a few minutes, but if you've got questions, you can come on Zoom. Do they have the Zoom link? Yeah. Is that up? Okay, if you want to come on Zoom, you can. or if you've got questions here on Facebook, Rumble, or YouTube, and if we don't have any questions, we'll just call this a one-a-day. This is just a one-a-day where I'm just spouting off again. But understand something, okay? How much are you willing to love, honor, protect, and respect yourself? How much are you? Seriously, okay? You might want to think about that. How much of your heart is actually filled up with love from you? So why don't we just do this? Why don't we get a picture and let's draw a big heart on a page, okay? And then let's start filling it in. What percentage is love from you? What percentage is love from the dog, the cat, the friends, your children, your grandparents, your partner, the world? How much do you rely on the world each day to make you feel good? How much do you rely on the world each day to feed you? Okay? How much do you rely on everybody for everything? And understand something, your goal is to become everything to yourself. Can you please scroll down so I can see if there's any questions there, please? Keep going, thank you. I believe, this is different. I believe root canals and tooth pulled created my main issues. Well, root canals, yes, because 50% of women that actually, 50% of women diagnosed with breast cancer will have a root canal on the same side, okay, as the breast cancer. We know that root canals are continually leaking infection, so they're really great for breast cancer, heart disease, lung problems. Yes, I've been clapping neck while I think is the stagnation. I'm going to get a certain x-ray so I can give info before I do a consultation. Well, if you come here, you can do a thermography, which is not an x-ray, which means you're not going to have any poisoning, and it's more in depth than any x-ray out there. Okay? Thoughts on teeth creating issues? Well, the teeth don't really create the issues. I mean, the root can rot out, and you can have gum disease, but understand, most gum disease is bum disease. If you don't believe me, most people that have gum disease have bad breath. They don't have bad breath from something they ate yesterday. They have bad breath from something they ate, how about this, years ago. So people are rotting in their bowels. If you don't believe me, then just roll over and kiss your partner in the morning before she or he brushes their teeth and smell their breath. It'll smell like somebody maybe pooped in their mouth. Hot air rises just like a hot air balloon. You know how your tummy goes up, your tummy goes down, your tummy goes up, your tummy goes down. Well, that bloating is called gas, and that gas wouldn't happen unless you had your own little private manure pile in your large intestine, okay? And then what we do is we end up pooping in our pelvis, and that's why there's so many pelvic problems and hip surgeries and low back surgeries. How many people here know that 85% to 90% of all low back surgeries and hip problems are actually from pooping in your pelvis and being constipated, but you don't think you're constipated, do you? No, because you go as good to the bathroom as you do your friends and family, which is not that great. So the reality is, if we were to create what we call the perfect day every day, that means from the moment that we wake up on an emotional, physical, and spirit level, we're making very high vibrational choices. Well, we're not going to have any issues in our tissues, because all issues in the tissues were issues in the mind first, like I've just told you. Yep, I agree. One end of the tube is the same as the other end. Teeth issues equal intestine issues. Well, yeah. You're rotting down here before you're rotting in here. And understand something. How many people know that the more you need teeth cleaning, the worse your diet is? The more you need teeth cleaning, the worse your diet is. I hope you get this. I hope you know that the Dental Association is a medical mafia in itself. I mean, who really would, I mean, this is all unconditional love, isn't it? To give people silver fillings that have 47 to 49% mercury in there so that your pineal gland will bloody well calcify. Isn't that something? So, you know, let's make sure that we treat our kids right by giving them lots of treats to rot out their teeth, to then put mercury fillings in, to then destroy their pineal gland, which gets rid of their super consciousness and dumbs them down. That's a great way to start life. I mean, you know what? I don't know any other way to do it except be a little bit of a drama king on here, do a little bit of an actor thing on here to try to reach people to crack open the coconut, because most people are out of their skull, aren't they? Think about what is in the cupboards and what is in the fridge and what people actually eat. Okay, AMS. Can you go back, please? Can you scroll, please? Back up. There you go. Okay, I'll ask you to scroll next, please. Okay, hello? No. I'll ask you when it's time to scroll. Go back up, please. Thank you. Okay, Joanne. Hi, Dr. Wolf. What are the costs for both courses? $8,000. $8,000 to take the New World Practitioner course. And can you bring the actual questions over to the other side of the screen, please? Can you move the questions over? Hello? Can you move the questions over to the other side of the screen? Drag them over? Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Can you go back up, please? So the courses are $8,000. That's the New World Practitioner course. It's 22 days. And I will make a challenge out there to any practitioner that's been in business 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You went to school 4 years, 5 years. In those 22 days, we will flip your world upside down, inside out. I'll also make a promise that if you've always wanted to be a practitioner, in those 22 days, you'll come out of there and you'll be able to actually practice being a health practitioner, a real health practitioner. Okay? All right, so, and I'll also make a promise, if you want to come and take my full course and you just want to change your life to change the life of those you love, you'll be able to do that as well. So that's the way it should be. And understand something, you need to get this, everybody. Can you turn that back on, please? There's no signal. Yarrick?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Can you guys just let me do the show? Okay, thank you. All right, so, where was I? Okay, so here's the deal. Health has been made to be so complicated. Okay, let's talk about it. Colitis, colon inflammation. Sinusitis, inflammation of the sinuses. Can we leave the scrolling, please? Thank you. All right, so fibromyalgia. Okay, what does that mean? Pain in the muscle tissues? Big deal. Oh, I got fibromyalgia. I got polymyalgia, which means pain in many muscles. Okay, so understand, every week they're going to come up with new names for new drugs, because nobody can keep up, and you're not supposed to. They're going to come up with new names for every condition that is created, either it's from 5G or blue light or a new chemical, or it's from Roundup, or it's from some new drug or concoction of different drugs that people take that create a new issue in the tissue, that we're going to give it a new disease. So everything is meant to be very complicated. And of course, you know what? You're too stupid to figure it out. Really? Trust me, the medical doctors don't even know how to figure it out. And guess what? They don't even know anything about health. They know about drugs. They know about surgery. Okay, they can't keep up to their own stuff. They just get these forms and they read them and, okay, this is what I got to remember. This got to remember. This is the new thing. This is the new thing we're pushing. I've been pushing the same thing, okay, for over 40 years. And that is self-care, self-love, unconditional love. I've been pushing the same thing, creating the perfect day from the minute you wake up on an emotional and physical level. And you know what? I'm a danger to society. Oh, I'm also a quack, by the way. Okay? Can you tell that I care now? I really care, because I don't care what people think, because most people are not thinking. You do get that, right? Okay? So the course is $8,000. The Whole Life Coach is 9 days. And then depending where we're at, it's a 1 day, 2 day break, and then you go into the Wolf Non-Surgical, which is 12 days. And I will tell you right now, our Wolf Non-Surgical, we will surpass any chiropractic, any acupuncture. I have a doctorate in acupuncture, by the way. Any massage therapy, okay, or any type of osteopathic work. Because understand, if you're not working with the scar tissue and the calcium, the displaced calcium and the scar tissue that's in people and the crystallization, what are you doing anyways as a body worker? You're not doing anything. As a nutritionalist, what are you doing? If you can't restore scar tissue back into connective tissue, if you can't get the calcium back into the bones and melt the crystallization, and then teach your patients, clients about their emotions and how they're just out of control, okay? How that they can be manipulated, okay, to just fry their brain, which fries the rest of their body. So first it starts off with the psychological, let's destroy that, and then we'll destroy the biological. Like, that's not happening, right? And it is happening. It's happening everywhere that I look. So I really know, and I really believe this, and I'm really okay with this, and that is that I know that I'm not liked by the majority. And the reality is to end up not being liked by the majority means that I'm not the majority, I'm the minority. And if I were to look at the majority, I don't want to be them anyway. But I want to love them unconditionally, because the majority of the population will suffer all their life. They will have autoimmune diseases. They will be on medication to help to suppress the inflammation, the pain, the swelling, the stiffness. Okay? That is only the body trying to talk to you and tell you you're out of alignment and that you are a terrorist with your beliefs, and they're not your beliefs. And these beliefs you got from 0 to 7 because you were in a hypnotic state. You're just one walking, talking little sponge. No matter what was done to you, you took it as if it was real, and that's the way life is. You know, I decided that it's really important that I actually talk about what's on my mind so that we don't keep having people coming here and believing that these courses are inky-dinky schnitzel house. That it's like, oh, I've taken a whole life coach course before. You know, you have not taken one like this. This one goes deep. This one is all about helping you to find the authentic you. It's all about me holding the line so that you don't become a landmine for yourself and your family, and actually telling you what real health is. It's all based on frequency. Whether you're eating or drinking or doing something, it's all frequency. You know, frequencies turn things on, they turn things off. I'd like to get turned on, thank you, and I'm going to stay that way, and I'm not going to get turned off. And the only way I'm going to get turned off is if I buy into the BS that's out there. I'm going to make my own BS, which are belief systems, and they're going to be based on unconditional love and care for myself. And I'm going to know that people are going to crack up in the next 2 years, more people that I love and care for than in the whole history of me being alive, which I'm almost 65. So I've got to be ready and stay connected to my breath and stay there and stay calm. All right? Why do you think I made the move? You know, it's the craziest thing. We can do what we do anywhere, you know. But why do we do it here in Mexico? Well, because you can't turn the heat off. You can't starve me out. Okay? Yeah, you can't do any of these things. The other thing is guess what? Thank God it's a third world country, because now it's going to be a first world country. And what do I mean by first? Well, I'm going to love myself first and foremost, and I can't get away with doing that back in Canada. I can't get away with doing that even in a lot of the states in the United States, for God's sakes, because the majority rules, and if the majority rules, and they're mainly fools that have been fooled, schooled, and ruled, wow, that's not a place I want to be. It's not a place I want to be. So we will come out the other side of this thing, okay? So she's been talking, I've been clapping my neck, where I think is the stagnation. Well, guess what? The stagnation started in your large intestine. Like, that's not obvious. Take a look at the average person that's over the age of 30, 40, and what is that hanging out around their belly button? What's that hanging down and out? What's that sticking out? Well, that would be putrefaction in their large intestine. So the stagnation first happens in the large intestine, because the lymph system actually dumps into the large intestine. That's how you clean. I mean, you can smell your armpits and go, yeah, I'm kind of trying to clean there too. You do sweat here, but the majority of the lymph is actually dumped into your large intestine. But what if your bowels aren't moving? But what if you thought they were moving because they move just as good as everybody else in the family? Well, that would be the truth, right? And that's what's going on with people right now, is they think they have great bowel movements, but they actually don't have great bowel movements. You know, you should be getting up in the morning and having 2 to 3 bowel movements, and you feel like empty, but you feel refreshed, you feel light, you know, you can think clearer, you feel just wonderful. That's why, guess what? You know, if most people in this whole health field, whether you're a practitioner, whether you're a patient, or just somebody into health, you know, you believe in this, well, I'll do a cleanse every 3 months or every 6 months or every 9 months, okay? And guess what? That is the biggest mistake of your life. If you could create the perfect day on an emotional and physical level, you'd own your life for the rest of your life. Wouldn't that be something? But most people can't think that far to do that. Now, tomorrow at noon, I'm going to be on and I'm going to be doing and releasing the 6-day advanced water fast. And this, because this is the time of year that we need to do it as much as possible. And especially with the lockdown coming in November, we've got to try to get people to do 6-day advanced water fasting. So what we're doing is, starting tomorrow for 2 weeks, I'm going to explain to you everything, I promise. It's 3 hours. So you want to watch 10 minutes, turn me off if you want. But these are for people, like I told you, the very small percentage of the population will follow me. And I get it, okay? So, but what we're going to do for 2 weeks is we're going to get on the perfect day diet. And that would be the most balanced diet that you could eat to be healthy for the rest of your life. But let's just try to see if we can do that, because we're just going to get ourselves ready for a 6-day advanced water fast. Now, I will tell you that 90%, 95% of the people that actually go on the fast, and we usually have a couple thousand every time we do this. We had a fast about 3 months ago, and we figured we had about maybe 5,000 people on that fast around the world. So anyways, a lot of them will just jump right into the 6-day advanced water fast, which you can. And the advanced water fast actually is not a water fast, it's an advanced one, because if you just tried to do a water fast today, you would blow up, because most people have chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, okay, they have too many blocks in their body. So when you do a water fast, you know, 70-80% of your energy goes to digesting food. So when you stop that, by the 3rd day, everything shuts down in your digestive tract, so all that energy goes in to create autophagy and stem cell making. So you're eating up a lot of the things you don't want, like cancer cells, damaged cells, and cleaning out trapped protein particles in the body. And then you're creating, that's autophagy, and then you're making stem cells. And in that 6-day advanced water fast, you'll create like $10,000 worth of stem cells if you were to go get the injection part, because your body will do that. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. So then you go 6 days on the advanced water fast. You might just go 1 day if it's the first time. So I've had people go as long as into 60 days. I had a gentleman once go 82 days, and that was on an advanced water fast because his life was over. He was a trucker. He thought it was all over for him. Well, you should see him today. Okay, he rules his life now. So that's what I'll be showing tomorrow. And the reality is, if you want the cutting edge of life, and the reason why we're going to be doing a 6-day advanced water fast every 6 weeks until we get to the lockdown, and only because when the lockdown comes in November, I hope I'm wrong, I've got egg on my face, I hope I got tons of egg on my face, then it's going to be hard to get people products. They're going to try to, because so many people just can't come to work anymore. You know, I doubt if they'll offer the free money again, because that's basically just bankrupted all the countries. But what the heck? It's only plastic. Well, money's plastic now. It's not even paper like it used to be. Anyways, so I'm going to keep talking, and like I said, the small percentage of people will get it, that you cannot follow the herd anymore, because the herd is heading to the butcher. They are being sold off by the pound. And they live a miserable life. I don't want to be around people who follow the herd. I don't want to live with people who follow the herd, and I definitely don't want to listen to them. I wouldn't want any of their belief systems actually getting into me, okay? Because understand something, believe it or not, you know, when you come to my course, everybody in that room, we are all taking in ions from each other. We're actually taking in little bits from each other. Okay, so we all become part of each other, and that's why birds of a feather flock together. That's why, you know, you really want to watch out who you hang around with. Seriously. So let's not have guilt because we hang around with somebody because we feel guilty, because we feel we should. Let's hang around with people that challenge us. Let's hang around with people that we admire. Let's hang around with people that have a lifestyle that we so wish that we could have, or have a lifestyle. Because, and understand something, I get it. Most of you aren't going to be able to pull this off. And that's because, guess what? And this is the truth. If you came from a family that believed in poverty, you're going to be poor for the rest of your life. Unless you know that the only way you're going to get out of it is repetition. So you got to fake it till you make it, and you're going to have to repeat it a lot. If you were to take a look at the stumbling blocks in your life, you would understand you're not stupid. You've got stupid beliefs. You're not stupid. You got stupid beliefs. You know, the brain is the brain. That's all it is. And what's inside of it is going to decide what you are going to become at every present moment. There you go. And you don't even know that you're running these beliefs. Oh my God, if I have to listen to people go and talk about their poverty consciousness continually, you know, the course is $8,000. I could have said it's $80,000. I could have said it's $800. And people with poverty consciousness would go, it's too much money. Because that's the next thing that comes out of them. Oh, I can't do that. And you know, it's really this way. You can have somebody that has a very low IQ, but if they're raised in a family that money was easy to make, they'd make it easy. Do you understand? So it's all beliefs. Isn't that the craziest thing? Okay, our family, we get really fat and we can't lose it. Well, there you go, I guess so. In our family, diabetes runs in our family. Nothing runs in anybody's family. It runs in your mind. It's called epigenetic. It's not genetic. Okay, so let's make that really perfectly clear. And if you want to believe that it's genetic, then you go right ahead. Oh, I love this one. Wow, we've never seen this chromosome in like, this is only like 1 in 10 million people. Yeah, this is not curable. Understand something, that your thoughts mean everything. And the image you have about yourself, your life, your wife, your husband, the world, look at, I get it. I see what's going to go down. I see where the world's going, okay? I've got people I love that think I'm a quack, because I am, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'm a quack. Go ahead. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And you know, you have to understand something. It doesn't matter because I have healthy matter. Okay? Remember something. I'm the guy that doesn't get sick. I'm the guy that doesn't have a disease. I'm the guy that doesn't get stressed out. Okay? Well, I wouldn't say I don't get stressed out. I haven't perfected that one, but I don't hang on to it for more than maybe 30 seconds. But if it's huge, I process it right away, and I go, all the suffering in the world is not going to do anything to benefit me. You know, and I say this in a learning way, and I'm going to drop the story, but you know, I had people that are very close to me conspire against me and steal $300,000 from me that are denying it right now, but that's the only thing they can do is deny it because they don't want to get caught with it. I wouldn't want to do that. And the reality is how attached am I to that? Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that I almost lost everything financially except $2,200 back about 9-10 years ago. I went from 3.5 million right down to $2,200. I tell this story because I just want you to understand something. You know, I was too materialistic. I came from a family that had poverty consciousness, and it didn't matter how much money I made today. It didn't matter that my website was in the top 100,000 of all the websites in the world. I would go home pretending I didn't make any money, okay? And then I'd also go home with a headache or exhaustion because I needed to show my family how hard I was working. And now I just want to go home feeling great so I can go swimming and biking, and whatever I did that day is good enough, and I'm abundant because of my thinking, not because of what's in the bank. And I definitely cannot worry about what the majority of people think about me or what the majority of people are doing to themselves today, because the majority of the population is actually killing themselves. Tell me they're not. Tell me they're not. And I'll tell you, I've got 2 minutes and then I've got to get off because we're going to be doing a show with Alya. She's one of the scientific researchers out of Switzerland that helped to put these together, these Tesla glasses, which again are the only, it's the craziest thing, okay? I get it. These cost about the same as designer sunglasses, but it doesn't matter how much they are. The reality is what they can do. They totally not neutralize blue light and 5G and all the frequencies that are damaging your eyes, your brain, and your nervous system. Okay, and actually Tesla invented this. It's called the fluorine lens. It actually, what it does is it turns the frequency of the blue light into something that actually heals your eyes and your brain. And you can believe this or not believe this, but guess who used to wear prescription glasses? Me. So between the C60, between the Black Diamond, between the IGF-1, 300,000, and between wearing Tesla glasses and doing silver and fulvic eye drops in my eyes, guess what? I don't have migraines anymore. I don't get that burning feeling in my mouth. Oh, by the way, I've got perfect eyesight. Go figure, isn't that something? Okay, so my eyesight was worse when I was 12 years old, all the way up into my almost 40. And I actually turned my eyesight around, and I think pretty clear. And but I don't think like you, and you don't think like me. And we only think the way we think because of the belief systems that are in our head. And just so you know, you think I think different now? Well, give me another 6 months. I'll keep on working on myself and changing myself 1% a day so that I can look for that authentic self. And you're going to have to dig really deep because we have been programmed to dishonor, disrespect ourselves and each other, and I will not do it. I will not participate. I will have unconditional love for the world, and I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to perfect this, but I'm going to work on this because the main job here by these psycho rich, their job is only to do one thing, is for you to hate yourself and to hate others, whether it's a different religion or politics or food or color, race, I don't really know. But you know what? The reality is unconditional love for oneself. Work on that. Let's see if you can get through today and just have every decision you make, every thought you make, be steeped in unconditional love for yourself first and foremost. Let's see if you can pull that off for 1 hour. How about 1 hour of power? Then watch your energy soar. Watch your symptoms start to fade away, okay? Because the invisible creates the physical. That would be the source of everything, created the universe, right? Well, isn't that what most people believe? That, and then we were created in the likeness of a God? Then why don't you act like it? Why don't you start changing yourself and know that your brain was programmed from 0 to 7, you're in a hypnotic state, and you're everyone else doing everything else, and let's go find ourselves, Bravehearts. 3, 2, 1. I know you can do this. I know you can do this. I'll be on in a few minutes with Alya, who's a beautiful, beautiful, light-spirited woman, okay? It is such a joy to be on with her. You're going to love her just like I do. And I hope that you love yourself first and foremost. Why don't you give that a shot? Why don't you go take a look at my Braveheart 4 self-loving steps in my library and practice the Lionheart breathing. Practice leaving smiles wherever you go. No matter what goes on today, you're going to have a slight smile and you're not going to take it off your face. Why don't you get a love band? Order these. 3, 2, 1, I got this. This is a kiss. This is a hug. Snug as a hug. 3, 2, 1, that's the old me. 3, 2, 1, new sheriff in town. 3, 2, 1, no, I deserve that. And understand something. I don't care what you want. Until you believe that you deserve it, you're never going to get it. Okay? I want, I want, I want. Yeah, but if you were taught that you're unworthy and you don't deserve it, deep down in your subconscious, you're never going to have it. And that's why, if you've got poverty consciousness, just try to get comfortable, because you're going to have it for the rest of your life unless you're going to go to boot camp and learn that repetition is the only way that we learn on this planet. They're using it against you with all the commercials. They're using it with you, with your family, with your friends. You can't go anywhere except you got all this BS is piled up everywhere. Dysfunctional belief systems, that is. Become the light you search for. It would be you. Thanks for joining me. 3, 2, 1. You've got this, Bravehearts. Cut! Okay, you guys have to know